we're going to share his mock draft for the Chicago Bears and my mock draft for the Chicago Bears. And you guys, the fans, are going to go down below in the comments and vote who had the better mock draft. Mike, man, you ready, man?
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this. You know, I love mock draft season.
Justin Fields is one of the most electric quarterbacks in the NFL. He went from being a quarterback this last season where I'm like, I don't know if this is for him, to wow, he lit the world on fire. And with this draft, oh my goodness, he's gonna have so much more weapons. So enough of me talking. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. And right now again, we're showing the first mock draft, and then right after this one, we're gonna show another one. So stay tuned. Here we go. Boom. Okay, Mike. Okay, now this is Mike's. Paris Johnson, man, Will McDonald, oh my goodness, bro. Marvin Mims, TJ Spears. All right, Mike, break this down for me. And what's your thought process? I'm loving everything I'm seeing, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, I think the Bears need a lot of help. They made some good moves this offseason, right? They got the trade back to 9th spot. They got 10 picks. This was not us doing any trades. Yeah. Paris Johnson Jr. is a massive tackle, played at Ohio State, same place Justin Fields was. 6'6", right? And that dude has given up 2 sacks since he's been a starter, right? So I think fortifying that line, one of the best things you can do besides getting your quarterback a weapon is getting weapons, like as far as receivers, et cetera, is make sure they have a good line. Me and you both have the same philosophy on the line. Oh, yeah. The next pick is insane to me because this is a guy I think really has the potential to go in the first round. Late first round, early day 2, Kalijah Kancey. A lot of people are comparing him to the great Aaron Donald, D tackle. He's a guy that is a great run defender, and he definitely gets after that interior pass rush from Pittsburgh. So if he turns into half what Aaron Donald is, I think that's a crazy comparison for people to give him coming out of college. But if he turns into half of what Aaron Donald is, he'll be an immediate contributor for them. Will McDonald, 8 picks after that, one of the better edge rushers in this class. And I think is really deep at a few positions. I think Will McDonald could come in and right away get in that rotation. They do need some receiver help, right? So Marvin Mims, running like a 4-3 from Oklahoma, is a guy that can play in the slot and just get after it, right? And I think that is finally giving them some of the weapons that they need. Luke Wypler. I'm not this big Ohio State fan, so I'm not trying to make y'all think Ohio State. Doug's actually wearing my favorite college team's hat, but it's just Ohio State consistently puts out good players, especially on the line, the front 7. So Luke Wypler can play center and he can play guard, and that's a need they have. Muhammad Diabate from Utah is a thumper, man. When you think of a traditional linebacker, just gets after the ball. And I know some are like, well, Tremaine Edmonds they signed, and they have a few linebacker free agency picks. With that being said, when you think of Chicago Bears, you think of a dominating defense, right? And you can't have that without some depth, so we added it there. Given Justin Fields, man, another weapon, and Jonathan Mingo of Ole Miss, a little bit of a bigger receiver, more of a possession guy, I think has a chance to get on the field right away. And TJ Spears, man, like one of my favorite backs in this draft. Real quick guy, real explosive guy. They really got a ground and pound kind of running back. So adding that other element would be great. Tywan Mullen from Indiana. He's a guy that, you know, at the combine didn't necessarily set the world on fire, but he's a consistent player. He tackles well. He's a tough corner. And I like to see that as a former corner myself, except for he's about 5 inches taller than me. And then Cameron McDonald, right, tight end from Florida State, guy that can come in, play special teams, develop behind Cole Kmet, and potentially make that roster, man. So that's kind of what I was thinking, getting Justin Fields some help, getting that defense a little bit more help. But I think if they got a draft like this, they legitimately would have 4 or 5 starters in their first 4 or 5 picks. That'd be phenomenal.
Ooh, man, I love it. I love it. And what's nice about this, man, it's very well-rounded. You got people on defense, and you got people on offense, man. I'd have to give this a solid A, man. This is one of the better mock drafts that I've seen for the Chicago Bears. And again, you got the supporting cast, starting with Paris Johnson, arguably the best O-lineman in this draft. If not, you got to have him in the top 2 conversation. I mean, who's better than him? I mean, he's just so good, man. You hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, he is that guy. Marvin Mims from Oklahoma is so slept on, man. Could potentially be one of the best, and could be among the a top 1 or top 2 tier wide receiver in the NFL one day. Very exciting. With the year or 2 of development, he's gonna do very, very, very well. Mahmoud, you got him on there. Jonathan Mingo, man. And then I want to talk real quick about William McDonald, man. Such a fierce edge rusher, man, for Ohio State, man. It's funny because on my mock draft, we're talking about I have MJ Anderson, his teammate. So whenever Will's not in there or he's on the opposite side of him, man, MJ Anderson's there. So great minds think alike, mine, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The great picks.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I decided to go through the Pro Football Network or PFN mock draft simulator. And then these are all my picks, all right here. I'm going to go start off here with Jackson Smith-Njigba. Probably the best receiver in the draft. If not, he's in the top 2 conversation between him and Quentin Johnson from TCU. One of those guys are going to be first off the board in this year's draft. And man, how freaking exciting if they get Jackson Smith-Njigba. He elevates that. Day one, he can literally be the best receiver on that team. Just like that. Then, of course, the O-line. The O-line isn't perfect, but it's not completely bad neither. There were some games where, Justin Fields was running for his life, right? And we already know what he could do with his legs, but we want to see him develop as a passer as well, too. So what better way to do that than take and have Cody Mauch, who's an absolute mauler, North Dakota State. We saw what he did at the Reese Senior Bowl. And he did the damn thing. He did his thing. Then, of course, Emil Ekiyor Jr., excuse me. He's absolutely a beast from Alabama. Alabama, much like Ohio State, they deliver when it comes to O-linemen. And then they need a slot receiver, Julius Brents. Now, he's not super tall. I want to say, don't quote me on this. I want to say somewhere around, 5'9" roughly. Julius Brents, though, is that guy, man, at Kansas State, man. Again, not super tall, but his jump ball, he is a slot receiver all day, man. His point of attack is amazing. Moro Ojomo was a huge part of the Texas Longhorns being very successful in college football last year. Then we got Luke Schumacher, who was definitely underused at Michigan. Because when you see what he did at the NFL Combine, his jump, his speed, your mind starts to run wild. Mike, who do they have for tight end at over for Chicago again?
They have Cole Kmet as a starter.
Cole Kmet. So yeah, there were some games where Cole Kmet, I mean, he looked okay. I mean, he's obviously a very good tight end, so not taking nothing away from him. But to add a guy like Luke Schumacher, who's a very good blocker and could go out there and open up the pass game, it's gonna be very exciting. Then we have Eric Gray. Eric Gray, friend of the show. Mike and I have both interviewed Eric. Eric is a great guy. When you look at Eric's tape, there's no way you can't tell me that is not the next Alvin Kamara. He's amazing. He's amazing. Eric Gray is that guy. He could catch, he could pass, he's elusive. That is potentially a 4-down back. And we're going to see some very good running backs slide in this year's draft. Also, MJ Anderson, friend of the show, interviewed him about 2 weeks ago. Mike, you had Will McDonald on yours. I had MJ Anderson on mine. And MJ Anderson, man, is amazing, dude. This guy is you could put him in multiple different packages. We're in the 4-3 or the 3-4. He's an amazing edge rusher. He could go straight up D tackle. I mean, he could play anywhere on the D line. This guy is amazing. Nice long arms. This guy knows football, man. Any team that gets him, he's a leader. He's a locker room guy. This guy needs to be in the NFL. I'm so excited to see him. And you watch his tape, dude. It's like his arms grow an extra 5 inches when he's going to take and make a tackle, man. And again, great guy, man. Him and I had a long talk, man. Awesome dude. He would be great for the Chicago Bears. Then Stetson Bennett is right after him. Doug, man, you trying to start a quarterback controversy? Look, man, I love me some quarterback controversies. How about you, Mike?
I mean, I like Justin Fields, but I think Stetson Bennett, man, like it's with his style, it's not bad to have another quarterback behind him, man.
And they play similarly.
Yeah.
They play super similarly. So God forbid Justin goes down, you have a guy who's played in big moments like a Stetson Bennett. And the guy, Stetson freaking Bennett, has got it out the mud, man. This guy is that dude, man. Obviously, he has some trouble off the field. You know what I mean? But hey, look, this is second chances league, man. Hopefully he works his stuff out, man. I think he's going to be all right, though, man. But Stetson Bennett, that's my guy. And then Trey Tucker, also friend of the show, man. We've interviewed him, man. Trey Tucker's a great guy, and he's one of the best. You got to put him in I would say put Trey Tucker in the top 3 conversation, maybe top 4 conversation as best return man in college football. He did amazing. He could return punts, he could return kicks, and he could play slot receiver. Oh yeah, and literally his pro day was 3-4 days ago. He literally tied their number 1 receiver and had a 4.32.
Insane, bro.
Just freaking nuts. Looking here again, these are my guys, man. You know, we got running back, we got 2 receivers, we got another quarterback. This is more offense heavy, you know what I mean? But man, we want to see Justin Fields be all he can be, like the Marines, man. So
I like that so much, and I think Chicago has not given Justin Fields the help he's needed, right? Like they really stripped it down to rebuild it. And what you did there, man, getting him Jackson and Jigba, if that's all you did, that's a hell of a draft. And then coming back and getting 2 starters on the line back to back after that, getting Trey Tucker, like you said, man, like this might be for Chicago fans, this might be blasphemy, but think about a Devin Hester type, right? Who went to the U. This guy would be the most explosive return they've had since Devin Hester if he was there, and will absolutely get on the field because he runs a 4.32, and he's not like he's 5'6" or running a 4.32. Like he's a sizable receiver, man. Like that was a hell of a draft.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. It's gonna be excited, man, for the Chicago Bears, man. Like, yeah, man. It's gonna be a fun year for y'all for sure. So, but ladies and gentlemen, go down below of this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the like or hit the dislike. I hope you liked it. I hope that we gave you something to have hope for, and vote. Who do you think had the better mock draft, Mike or myself? This was fun, Mike. Thank you so much again, man.
Most definitely, man. I'm glad we got to do this.
Yes, sir. Catch y'all next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. More mock drafts, more interviews on the way. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.